You were taught to be a good girl, to be polite, to be nice, to not make anyone feel uncomfortable. And it worked for a while. You got liked, you got needed, you kept the peace. But deep down, you've been disappearing. Today, we're talking about the truth behind that performance, why it's not your fault you became the good girl, air quoted, and why it's your sacred responsibility to set her down now. Because the longer you play that role, the longer you postpone your actual life. Welcome to Sovereignty Rising. Ditch the fear, embrace your flame. I'm Dawn Elgin, contrarian soul guide, visionary mystic, and creatrix of practical spiritualism. And this is the space where we strip away the fear, burn the old stories down, and reclaim the power that was never truly lost, just buried. Here, we dive into raw, unfiltered conversations on emotional healing, spiritual awakening, and the art of unlearning everything that keeps you stuck, small, and disconnected from your truth. Together, we rise like phoenixes. Flame first, fear last. Let's rise together. So let's talk about the good girl and how it's a spell. Let's call it what it is. The good girl isn't just a personality. She's a spell, a socially acceptable identity passed down generation after generation. She's the one who smiles when she wants to scream, says yes when her soul says no, offers, fixes, softens, apologizes for existing. But here's the truth. Being good is not the same as being whole. Being liked is not the same as being safe. And the spell, it might keep you accepted, but it costs you your authenticity. You didn't choose this. You learned it. You inherited it. You watched your mother and her mother wear it like armor. Be agreeable. Don't be selfish. Don't make a scene. Keep the peace. You weren't given tools for boundary setting. You were taught that being needed was the closest thing to being loved. This is a survival programming. This is the difference between attachment and connection. Carolyn Mace calls it energy addiction. We become addicted to being needed as our source of power. But power based on other people or on people pleasing is not power at all. It's exhaustion. It's resentment. It's emotional erosion. The good girl role is a high cost, low return. It leads to chronic burnout, inner rage with no safe outlet. It leads to low key resentment towards the people you keep rescuing. You're the one that taught them this behavior, and yet we end up resenting them for it. It's disconnection from your body's yes and no. Our intuition gets quieter and quieter, and the complete abandonment of your own needs. And we justify it by saying, they need me. It's easier if I just do it. They won't understand. I should just be grateful. But here's the truth. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you betray your body, and your body keeps the receipts. Most of us have some form or fear of abandonment or betrayal. But let's be honest with each other. The person that betrays us and abandons us the most is us. And because we keep doing it, we expect the people out there to do the exact same thing. Think about that. Who's betrayed you more than you? So let's get present. I want you to close your eyes, unless you're driving. Then we're going to follow the rules and just take a nice deep breath. So breathe in nice and deep. Bring to mind a recent time you said yes out of obligation and not desire. Just bring it up to your mind. And even if you're driving right now, super cool, keep your eyes open. And still, when's the last time that you said yes out of obligation and not desire? And when I say obligation, that could even be just saying it out of habit and not really thinking through or checking in with yourself to make sure that it was an actual yes. For myself, I often say yes, and it's pretty quick afterwards. I was like, oh, I didn't actually mean that. Now I've had to, with a year, I've challenged myself this year to a year of honesty as the path of integrity. So working on this whole piece of sovereignty. And I started to notice that there was times that I lie. And the times that I lie, that I'm dishonest, are often with quick responses or not wanting to actually get into it with somebody. And I realized that it was a boundary issue and I needed to be able to say whatever was my truth. And if they liked it or disliked it, then I just needed to deal with it. And in my, got enough on my plate, I just don't want to deal with this. It's like the equivalent of like a, yeah, but I don't actually mean it. And I realized that some of my friends do the same thing. They say yes, and maybe they want to say yes, but they don't mean it. And when they say yes and then they backtrack, that also brings up a sense of resentment in me. So then I was like, oh, do I do this? Because often the thing that upsets us, irritates us about other people where we judge them for it, usually means there's something that we do a similar thing to people. So in this, I realized there's a lot of times where I maybe say yes out of just habit as opposed to obligation. I rarely feel obliged to do something. So usually for me, it's a habitual pattern, but it's not actually a desire for yes. And so now I'm starting to slow down to check in. So do this, check in with yourself. When's the last time that you said yes out of obligation or habitual and not desire? And when you go back to that recent moment, so go back to it and feel it in your body. And where is the tension? Now speak gently to yourself. So it can be softly or silently. I always like out loud because there's vibration through the vocal cords that helps with releasing and letting these things go. And just say to yourself gently, I honor the version of me that thought she had to say yes to be loved. I am safe now. I am allowed to protect my peace. No is not rejection, it's reclamation. Let that settle. You don't need to explain. You don't need to justify. You only need to stand in your truth. And don't worry, I'm going to have these in our show notes so that you can look at them and repeat them. So here's a personal share, my good girl breakup. I remember a time in my life where I overfunctioned for everyone, clients, family, friends. I was always the strong one, the helper, the wise one. But inside, I was quietly raging, quietly grieving. There was no space for my needs because I trained everyone to expect me to be fine. Then one day, I stopped answering texts. I set boundaries that felt terrifying, and I didn't explain. I didn't soften it. I just said no, complete sentence. And the world didn't fall apart. But my nervous system did a little happy dance. And that was my first taste of sovereignty. So here's the question that I have for you. Where in your life are you still playing the good girl? And what would happen if you stopped? Your job isn't to be easy. Your job is to be true. This week, practice saying no without the guilt spiral. Say no to what drains you. Say no to performance. Say no to the mask. You are allowed to choose yourself. You're allowed to protect your energy. You're allowed to stop being liked in order to start being whole. And if you're ready for deeper support in releasing that role and reclaiming your truth, check out some of the free resources that I have linked to my website, practicalspiritualismco.com, or even below in the show notes. We don't need more nice girls. We need embodied women in their power.
and you're one of them.
You are not broken. You are not too much. You're remembering who you've always been. And this journey is just getting started. If today's episode lit something in you, hit follow so you don't miss what's coming. And if you're feeling it, leave a review. It helps with more soul-led women find this space. Want to go deeper? Come find me on YouTube, Facebook, our private Facebook community, The Awakening Circle, Instagram, TikTok, or at our website, practicalspiritualismco.com, for all the ways we can rise together. Not to worry, all those links are in our show notes. Until next time, stay sovereign, stay bold, and keep that fire lit.